because the mental health of a home is based on mom. Mom does it all, right? We do everything. We determine the mental health of our household. And when we are not well and we are not supported, everyone suffers. It doesn't have to be that way.
Hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of Moms with Benefits. I'm Samantha Saxby, and today we are talking to Nikki Brooker, and Nikki is doing some incredible things with the nonprofit she founded. I want you to introduce yourself, Nikki. So can you tell folks who are you and what are you doing?
Samantha, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. We love to get the word out about what we're doing. My name is Nikki Brooker. I am the founder and CEO of YANA, which stands for You Are Not Alone. I created this nonprofit in 2017 after we had a couple of tragedies in our community. I live in a small town, small suburb south of Denver, Colorado, and we had two moms who took their lives and the lives of their kids within 3 months of each other. That was back in 2016 and 2017. And I was weirdly connected to both of those moms. I did not know them personally, but their stories and what happened with them really hit me hard. As a mom of three, I realized that our country really does not support its moms the way that they deserve to be supported. And after lots of research and lots of hard work and figuring it all out, we've created 3 different support programs for moms. And one of them, anyone, anywhere can participate in. So I'm really excited to tell you about that one too. I was a teacher. I was a teacher for over 20 years. I was teaching in the projects of North Denver, which was a really hard place. And I was an assistant principal of a K-8 school up there for 4 years. And it was slowly, destroying myself and my family. In fact, the story that I often tell is I would come home and tell my kids, you have no idea how lucky you are. You live in this charmed life. And I'm going and putting, boxes of mac and cheese in these kids' backpacks so that they'll eat over the weekend. Like, you just don't get it. And after 4 years of this, my 16-year-old at the time says to me, so let me get this straight. You created this life for us, and now you're mad at us we have it. My husband looked at me and said, I think you need to quit your job. And I said, yeah, I think I need to quit my job. So I quit my job. But then I'd always going to teach. I had a master's in education. I had a bachelor's in I was always going to teach. And I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do now. So I was actually substitute teaching at the school that my kids were going to. My youngest was still in elementary school, and I was substitute teaching there. And I got a phone call from the principal who says, hey, I need you in the building tomorrow. And I said, okay, well, that's weird. That's not how this normally works. Like, who am I subbing for? She's like, no, I'll explain tomorrow. So we walk in and they put us all in a room and they told us that Jennifer Labor had picked up her 3-year-old and her 5-year-old from our elementary school the day before. She drove them over to what used to be a sports authority, and she drove behind the building and she shot and killed both of them and herself in the family minivan. And they said, we don't know what the kids know. We don't know what the parents know. This broke late last night, but we just have these people in this building to help out and just be around. So the county commissioners were there. The school district was there. Everybody was there. And as I'm walking around the building supporting students, the 6th grade boy walked in from the outside mobile buildings and he was sobbing. And I said, hey, buddy, what's up? And he said, Ethan was my reading buddy. How am I supposed to be okay with the fact that his mom murdered him? And I said, buddy, you're not supposed to be okay with that. And as I walked him to the counseling center, he looked me right in the eye and he said, how do I know my mom's not going to kill me tonight? And I had no answer for him. And that broke me in a lot of ways, because nobody should ever have to think that about their mom, ever. And then I went to the kindergarten classroom and they were making pictures. And I said, what are you guys doing? And this sweet little girl says, well, our friend Ethan's dead. His brother's dead. His mom's dead, but his dad's not dead. So we're making these pictures to make him happy. And my immediate thought was, your core memory of kindergarten is always going to be this, and that is not okay. So that was November 30th of 2016. And then in February, we had a second mom take her life and the life of her 10-year-old daughter. And that little girl was best friends with my girlfriend's daughter. So then I saw it from that angle where I was like, wow, this poor little 10-year-old who I've known forever is just broken, and said to her mom, I spent the night before at her house. What if she would have picked that night? And that little girl still doesn't trust, she still struggles. So I'm like, that's it. That's enough. I can't do this. So I threw my hands in the air, put it on my Facebook page, said, let's do something. It's an incredibly long story and I won't go into the rest of it, but we were handed a nonprofit. We were handed a location. We were handed $1,500 and we were said, go do good in the world. So we created a program that was loosely based on the AA model, where we gave every mom a support person. kind of like a sponsor in AA, right? We also had gatherings every week where the mamas could come together and build a community. And then we were a clearinghouse of resources. So that's how we got started in April of 2017. It was great. We supported hundreds of moms. We saved moms. We changed moms' lives. We did a lot of great things. But then the pandemic hit, and that was the end of the in-person gatherings, right? Now it's actually against the law to have an in-person gathering, which is just crazy, right? So, okay, now what? So over the pandemic, I did a bunch of research on postpartum depression, on what other countries do to support their moms, on what we don't do in the United States, and the correlation that we believe that has on our mental health. When you support the people who create the people, everything changes, right? Because the mental health of a home is based on mom. Mom does it all, right? We do everything. We determine the mental health of our household. And when we are not well and we are not supported, everyone suffers. It doesn't have to be that way. The program that we created is not rocket science. My husband actually is a rocket scientist. It's not rocket science, I promise. It's super simple. It's just a matter of putting your money where your mouth is and saying, I really truly care about the mental health of our country, then let's show that we care about it, and let me show you how. So our program is called Strong Mamas, Thriving Babies. This is a hospital program where every single mom who gives birth at one of our participating hospitals is offered a full year of wraparound support. That wraparound support includes a one-on-one connection with somebody from our organization. We actually walk into every single hospital room of every single new mom at the 2 hospitals that we are partnered with right now. We're partnered with the University of Colorado Health System and Advent Health Parker in Colorado. So those 2 hospitals, if you have a baby at those hospitals, you get our program for free. It's 100% free. We will never charge a mom for any of this because I know mamas don't pay for anything for themselves because we give and give and give because that's what we do. So it has to be free. So it is free. It is 100% peer-led, and it is open to every single mom who gives birth at one of our hospitals who takes home a baby. So if this is your 10th baby or your first baby, it doesn't matter to me. I don't care. I don't care what color your skin is. I don't care what ethnicity you are. I don't care how much money you have in the bank. None of that matters to me. All that matters is that you're taking home a baby and you deserve support, period. So the program has a one-on-one with somebody from our organization who presents the program and registers you right there in your hospital room before you even go home. And we tell you all about our program. Once they leave the hospital, they are given an app. We have an app just for the moms on our program. It's called Strong Mamas. It's on all the app stores, and it's just for them to be able to chat with each other, plan play dates. There's a calendar of events. There's discussion rooms. It's a safe online space to be with the mamas in our program, and they get that for a full year. The next part are in-person gatherings. We went back to those because we saw how helpful they were. We have in-person gatherings every week at the hospital. They can come whenever they feel comfortable. Whenever they're feeling like they can leave the house and come see us, they're welcome to come. They bring baby, they don't bring baby, totally up to them. But we're handing them a village of moms, and we're saying, you're all going through the same things at the same time, so let's talk about it. And we give them the safe space with their peers and us as peers to say the things that nobody allows them to say. So many of us, and I included, lied through my teeth to my OBGYN. I'm fine. This is great. I love this. Parenting is wonderful. Yeah, it is. But it's also really hard. And I wasn't doing okay. But I told them I was, because if I tell you I'm not, you might take my kids away. Or even worse, you'd think I'm a terrible mom, when actually I'm just normal. This is normal, right? It's normal to have all those thoughts, those anxieties, those fears, all of the things, the mom guilt, all of it. It's all normal. And you just need to know that it's normal. And you need to feel people in the room who feel you, right? That's why we're called You Are Not Alone. So we give them that safe space. We close the doors and we say, CPS is not here. Promise you, no one's taking your kids. Say it. It's okay to say it. There is an in-person gathering that goes by that somebody's not tearing up or crying because they finally feel the release of, I can finally say how I feel, right? Giving them that space, safe space, giving them the time, giving them this everything they just need to hear and see and say. So those are done every week. And then we have community experts come in and give moms tips and tricks on parenthood, which has been life-changing for these moms. They come back and they're like, I didn't even know pelvic floor physical therapy was a thing. what is this? And so she comes in with a model of a pelvic floor and says, this is what it looks like. And this is what happens when you give birth. And I have been blown away by what I've learned in here. And I've been a mom for 23 years, right? Then we have a sleep expert come in and give some tips and tricks. We have an infant massage come in and say, you can move gas by massaging. Like, it's not just burping. Like, there's other things you can do. We have the counties come in and give their resources. We have WIC. We have just different programs that these moms don't even know about. And then the last part of our program are phone calls offered to the moms. Those are throughout the full first year of motherhood, and it's by another mom. Again, our whole program is peer-led, mom to mom. We know that this works. Like I said, we were loosely based at the beginning. We were loosely based on the AA model. And that's worked since the 50s, because you walk into a room full of people who get you, who are not there to judge you, who are not there to tell you you're doing a bad job. They're there to support you. And that's exactly what we are all about, right? We want moms to feel safe, valued, and accepted. So we hand them this program for free for the first year of motherhood, because they deserve it. We deserve it. And I talk a lot, Samantha, so I'm so sorry you haven't had a chance to say a word.
I am soaking up every word. You feel like an angel on earth.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I feel like I need to express gratitude first for what you're doing, because it truly feels so remarkable. And I was tearing up. I'm tearing up now. Like, you're an angel on earth. So
You're so sweet. Thank you.
So I guess, so my questions kind of revolve around, what has the feedback been? Like, what do moms say? Because my mind goes to Moms with Benefits. We help individuals, we help employees, we help organizations that are wanting to move the needle forward and to help moms. And so I'm trying to figure out whether there's a mom that can't directly be supported by your organization. Like, what are the lessons and the values that may be applicable for them trying to be their own sort of change maker?
Yeah, no, I love that. And moms who mobilize, that it just changes the world, right? We get things done. Moms who, that's my new saying, is like, we are moms who mobilize. Like, let's make this happen, right?
Yeah.
Couple different things. Number one, you can be part of our program, because we do still offer that support mom program, that very first program we had. We still have that. And any mom anywhere can have a support mom. We're happy to give you one. If you'd like to be one for another mom, we're always looking for volunteers to be a mom supporter. And basically that just means it'll be virtual, obviously, but you just check in on a mama and you make sure they're okay. We're also looking for volunteers who want to make phone calls to these moms. That phone call part of our program is going to be a volunteer-led program. We have a training for you to go through, all of that, but it's basically like just checking in on mamas and making sure that they feel safe, valued, and accepted. And I have made those phone calls. I started making them a couple weeks ago, and let me just tell you, they are so awesome. Number one, you get voicemail probably more than you don't. However, the moms that I do talk to, their first response is, "Oh my gosh, thank you for checking on me." Like, literally, that's their first response, because nobody is, right? That's one of the things about, specifically in the United States, that everybody's baby centered. And I was 100% guilty of this as well. You see a mama with a baby, what do? You look in the carriage and you go, "Oh my gosh, look at that sweet baby." And all the attention, "Oh, cooing with the baby, cooing the baby." And you forget that there's this human being standing there that has so many feelings going on and so much going on. I've been very conscious to say, "Oh my gosh, baby's so beautiful. Hey, mama, how are you?" Right? Like, ask the moms how they're doing. Make sure they feel seen and heard. They deserve that. They gave birth to that thing that's in that carriage. The least you could do is see how they are, right? That's one of my big things that I tell everybody. Like, ask mama how she's doing, and ask her sincerely. Like, sincerely, how are you doing? The feedback we are getting from our program has been absolutely phenomenal. When I created this program and I put it all together, and honestly, I created it for myself because I didn't have it. We actually moved across the country from Colorado to Ohio to get closer to family. Both of our families are in Michigan. And we were like, let's get closer to family. That'll be helpful. Nope, wasn't helpful, because we were still 5 hours from our family. So it was no help. And so we found our people, we created our people, but it was hard. It was really hard. And we lived here in Colorado, we love Colorado, and we ended up coming back because we love it so much. But we didn't have family. I didn't have friends who had kids. I was the only person in our friends group who had kids, and they didn't get it. Right. And I needed this so badly. And if I had $1 for the 3 questions I get the most, I'd be a millionaire. Number one, where were you when I was giving birth to number 1? Like every mom asks me that, right? They got a 2.5-year-old, 3-year-old, 4-year-old at home, and they're like, where were you? And I was like, I was trying. It took me 4 years to get this contract with this hospital. It took 4 long years of blood, sweat, and tears. But I'm here now, and we're going to give you the support you deserve. Number 2 is, what's the catch? What's the catch? There's got to be a catch. And I'm telling you, with all sincerity, there's 100% no catch. We will never ask a mom to pay a penny for this. We are grant funded right now. We got a suicide prevention grant, but that ends at the end of 2024, at the end of this year. It's ARPA grants, so it was Emergency Rescue Act. And so we are applying for more of that, but we also, the hospitals understand that this was a pilot program. We started January 30th of this year with the first hospital, and then we started the second hospital June 3rd of this year. And the next one is coming by the end of the year. And those hospital systems understand, like, you're getting this gifted to you right now, but you're going to have to put your money where your mouth is and say you honestly care about mental health of your community. We're showing you what we're doing, right? So we are tracking all kinds of KPI, so much data. Oh my gosh. And as a teacher who, data was not my number one suit, because I believe if you want to see if I'm a good teacher, come sit in my classroom and you can see if I'm a good teacher. So data didn't really mean much to me before, but it means a lot to me now. And wow, we are tracking a lot. One of the things that we do is in our surveys, every time a mama comes to an in-person gathering, they fill out a survey. And at the very end of the survey, it says, please give us your thoughts. Like, we want to hear from you. Tell us what you're thinking. And anytime I'm feeling down or I just need a pick-me-up, I go read that spread. We've kept a spreadsheet of all of them. And it's, 150, 300, I don't even know how many are on there now, comments from mamas that are like, you've completely changed my life. You have given me new friends. You have given me resources I didn't even know were a thing. You've given me a safe space. You've given me more in this 3 months since I had this baby than I had with the 2 other children all together. Like, I don't even know how to say thank you, right? It's been amazing. The feedback is huge, and the mamas are very appreciative. It's been great. We've been going for 6 months now total, 5.5, I think, 5.5 months, and we've enrolled over 600 moms. So it's been fast and furious.
Yeah.
And I will say Advent Health has been phenomenal to work with, and they're very excited to expand this program. They have 55 nationwide hospitals, so we'll see what happens. But right now, we're just working on our little county in Colorado. We do want to expand. That is the goal. The goal is that every mom in the country is supported the way she deserves to be supported. I know that's a tall tale or a tall order, and I get that. We're working on building the system to create all the programs so that can happen.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Again, I'm being a terrible host right now, but it's because you're being such a great guest, I think.
Oh, you're so sweet.
So, okay, so what can we help with? Like, what can I help with, or what can listeners help with? Is the call to action, you'd love more volunteers and they can reach out? Is the call to action, you need donations, you need, like, what? All the above?
All of the above. We need all of the above. So we have 3 pillars of support, right? The first pillar is that support mom program where we just give a mom a support mom anywhere. And then another pillar is the Strong Mamas Hospital program. So those are 2 different programs. And then the third program is we have a podcast, because we believe the more we interview moms and they get to tell their story, and the more other mamas hear those stories, the more supported everybody feels, right? It just proves that you are not alone. alone. And so our podcast is called Let's Be Real Mama Journeys. And so we're always looking for new guests to be on our podcast. We just this week put out our 100th episode. So we've been almost 2 years in the making. Thank you.
That's a mega milestone.
Yeah, it is. It is. Well, 2 years is our next one coming up here in 3 weeks. So I'm very excited about that. So, listening, wanting to be on it, all the sharing that's huge. Volunteering for our organization is also huge. I know a lot of people don't live here. You can make phone calls to these mamas from anywhere. Like, you don't have to live in Colorado for sure. So we're always looking for volunteers, and you could volunteer an hour a month. Like, it doesn't have to be huge, but we could definitely use that. We are looking for, this is kind of a silly one, but we are looking for other revenue streams. Basically, we are going to create a membership program that extends the year of support. So after you're done with the year of support, then you can, and anybody can, but we're still working on all of that. In the meantime, we are looking, okay, I don't know if you've seen these cute little crocheted things, but they're called positive potatoes. I don't know if you've seen it. Oh my gosh, the cutest little thing. It's just a little crocheted stuffed potato, and it has a little sign on it that says, when life gives you lemons, like throw a potato, or just like funny little sayings, just a positive thing. We want to get some crocheters together who want to donate their time. I mean, literally, it's like this. It's like, I don't know, 3 inches big. It's tiny, but it's just something that we've talked about selling for a revenue stream. So we need volunteers who like to crochet and want to make positive potatoes for us. So there's lots of different opportunities. We have a form on our website that says volunteer, and there's lots of options on there. You can help with, whatever. So our website is yanamom.com. So it's YANAMOM.com. Right on the front page is all of the volunteer information. Always looking for volunteers. We're looking for corporate sponsorships. That's a big one. We really would like to get into the corporate sponsorship world. Again, we are grant funded right now, but past that, when we are out of money at December 31st, I need to make sure that we can keep doing this. And yes, the hospitals will put in, but I'm not sure that they'll be able to fund all of it, right? It's a big ask. We're working on all of that. We do partner, we partner with like 30 different organizations around our county. Because of those resources that we bring into the hospital, we try to make sure those are local to the hospital, because we don't want somebody to have to travel, 40 miles to go to a PT. So we find one that's in the area, and then we connect with them, right? And I sit on 20 different councils and organizations and boards. So we are very, very well versed in our county, but it's getting outside of our county and finding those funding sources that make sense besides grants. Like, we have a grant committee and we're writing grants every week, but it's other revenue streams and other ways to fund this so that no mom feels that they're alone or not enough. Well, we never want another Jennifer or Christy to feel that their only way out is filicide, which is to take the life of your own child and yourself. So that's our goal. So if anybody has other ideas on what that looks like or how they could help with funding, that would be huge.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, hopefully the listeners will reach out to you. And I didn't even know that was a word.
Yeah. It's sad, isn't it? It's a terrible word. And there's also a video on my website on yanamom.com, the very front page. And you can click on the YouTube video and watch me. It's kind of basically a TED Talk, but it wasn't for TED Talk. But it's it's 10 minutes, so it's lengthy because I talk a lot. But it's basically the story I just shared from the beginning. And so you get the idea of like where we all started and where it all came from. So if you have other people who need to hear this story and they want to see another way of me saying it, that's another way to see it. But a lot of people don't know the word filicide, and it's really sad that in the United States and in English we had to come up with this word to describe it, because it's an epidemic that we don't want to talk about. Nobody wants to talk about it. And we are a very reactive society, us here in the United States, for sure. Like, everybody wants to talk about things when things happen, but then when things die down, then nobody talks about it, right?
Yeah, what are the changes?
And what are the changes? Yeah. So we're here to make the change. We're here to, there's no reason why we can't have this nationwide. We just have to figure out how to get it there.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Well, I'm fully supportive. I'd love to talk offline to see other ways that Moms with Benefits can help. So thank you so much for joining us and sharing about the incredible angel work that you are doing on this planet. So thank you so much, Nikki.
You are so welcome. Thank you so much for having me.
If you are currently expecting or just looking to plan ahead, check out perkyleave.com to learn more about your leave benefits.
Moms with Benefits is chasing financial and emotional stability for motherhood. If you've resonated with any of the stories from our moms, we'd love for you to give us a rating and quick review to help spread the word. You'll also find Moms with Benefits on Instagram at momswithbenefits.org. Keep going and keep growing, Mama.